gratitude, but I'll pass on both. Just give me that view.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to the Vicious Rats. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. And gonna go with Raw this week. Was in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, very lovely city, Cleveland. Unfortunately, what is relatively close to the Vicious Studios here in Erie, PA. However, I did choose not to go that evening. But before we get into that, just like always, we're going to switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. It's, well, Ricochet going against Corbin. Ricochet got the win with some Pat McAfee hijinks. Nothing big, nothing fancy. Nothing big, nothing fancy as far as shenanigans kind of went. But it was more so for continuity following up from SummerSlam. Shinsuke Nakamura had a match against Ludwig Kaiser, and if Shin won, he got the -- 1 contendership for the Intercontinental Championship, which he did. And then, so this Friday coming up, we got Shinsuke Nakamura going one-on-one against Gunther, and ooh, baby, that's going to be good. Now, there was also a women's gauntlet match to determine who is going to challenge Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Clash at the Castle, and this was the main meat and potatoes of the show. But Liv, she cut a promo before the match. Crowd kind of went against her a little with the whole "you tapped out, you tapped out, you tapped out" chants. And honestly, at that point, my first thought was, okay, this is make or break. It depends on how you react and on how you take it. And she was kind of neither fish nor fowl. She was kind of indifferent to it. You know, so I'm just like thinking in my head, if it was me, and again, I think in a very villainous kind of way. But me personally, I would have got the "you tapped out" chance. You know what? I may have, but remind me again, who's the champ? Just to throw it in their faces. You know, and maybe it's also because the environment I grew up in Philadelphia, where we either love you or we hate you. And you know, it is what it is. I mean, yeah. But the contenders were Aaliyah, Raquel Rodriguez, who took the lion's share of the match, Shotzi, Natalya, Xia Li, and Shayna Baszler. Shayna got the win. I'm really interested in looking forward to Shayna versus Liv, because I want to see on how that kind of a fight pans out. And the show, the last big highlight of the show was Roman addressing the crowd after his win against Brock Lesnar. Now, it was Roman and the Usos, no Paul Heyman, because Paul recovering from the F5 given to him on the announcer's table. But Roman addressing the crowd. I said what I was going to do. I came, I smashed, and what did you guys expect? Y'all expect anything else from me? I mean, seriously. And then he starts going on about how at Clash at the Castle, he's going to go one-on-one with Drew, and then he's going to beat him. Drew comes out very much so in a babyface kind of manner, with the whole, I'm going to come Clash at the Castle, I'm going to kick your ass kind of way. And then music stops. Then lights go for a second. Music starts up like, wait, what? And then boom! Drew gets a sneak attack done to him. It's the return of Karrion Kross, aka Killer Kross. He winds up decking Drew, taking him out, and then Scarlett. I'm gonna get a brain duster right now. I just know it. Scarlett then proceeds to go put an hourglass on the apron, have the dial turn, and then just Cross just locking eyes at Roman. Like, okay. Now, I'm going to just say it now. Point blank. We all know Roman is going to make a joke about Cross wearing the gladiator shit before. So, let's just get that out the way now. We know it's going to come. It's just a matter of when, not if. You know? So, with that said, that was it for SmackDown. So, let's get into this week's show. Raw, Cleveland, Ohio. It starts out with Bayley. It starts out with Bayley. Wait, we can take that out in editing, right? Why are you just giving me a lazily not? Oh, fuck. You're not going to take that out, are you? Fucking asshole. God damn it. Anyways. Starts out with Bayley, Io, and Dakota. Bayley hyping up about on how, you know, at SummerSlam, people are still talking about SummerSlam, but it's not Bianca and it's not Becky. Oh no! It's me. It's Io. It's Dakota. They're talking about, and then Bayley very much so. And God bless the heel way she works that mic, talking, just chastising the crowd, and just ripping into them, the sheeple, all that jazz, and then emphasizing on how that with the women's tag title tournament that they officially announced also, that Io and Dakota are going to win it, and then out comes Little Miss Bliss, and okay, for the record, I cannot be held accountable for which either of my brains, and yes, because men have two brains, unfortunately only enough blood to supply one or the other, I cannot be held accountable for which either one of my brains responds when seeing Alexa Bliss given the outfit she had. Then there was Asuka, which, yeah. Then Bianca came out, and all three did a stare down. Then they issued an official challenge. Like I said last week, challenge has been made and set. Clash at the Castle. It's going to be a trios women's action match. Then they have a big brouhaha brawl. Everyone goes at each other. And while watching this, the gears in my head started turning, and then it finally clicked. Asuka and Io Shirai, now known as Io Sky, are on the same show. Wait, just listen to me. Go on the computer. Delete my browser history. No, it's not a code red. Just trust me. Delete the browser history. I don't need any of it anymore. Yeah. Honestly, the only way it could be topped is if Kairi came back, but she's happy working in Stardom, and as long as the talent's happy wherever they're working, I'm good. So with that said, let's get into the first match of the night. It starts out with Seth Elizabeth Rollins, because his middle name is not frickin', going one-on-one with Angelo Dawkins. And, well, first thing notice right off the bat, Dawkins, he goes without the shirt, showing that, you know, he's getting a little leaner. And Dawkins is just starting, and he's trying to think the right way to say this. Dawkins is staring his game up. He's shooting his game up, man. He's stepping up. That's what it is, point blank. He's stepping his game up with the way he's performing, the way he's just going at it all. He was leading the pace during this match, which I thought was really cool to see, and very top-notch professional of Seth. And it's just really nice to see, you know, because as much as we all talk about on how great Angelo Ford is, you know, it almost feels like Dawkins is the afterthought, like, hello, guys, right here. You know, you can't have Street Profits, plural, without the other guy, you know. But, yeah, it was really cool to see. At one point, Ford actually got thrown out because, you know, the way he runs his mouth, always moving and jib-jabbering and moving around and all that jazz. At one point, Seth teases and taunts Ford. Ford goes under the ring, grabs a chair, gets in the ring. Looks like he's about to crack Seth. Doesn't lay a hand on him, though. Ref yells at Ford, throws him out, all the while Seth cackling and laughing. You know, much like being a very masterful manipulator. Yes, I said manipulator, not master. Well, never mind. Either way, decent match. I thought it was a hell of a good match for the first match on the show. Match came to an end with Seth getting the win. He countered the Sky High to move around to go and hit a pedigree. After the match, he then proceeded to go and throw down a curb stomp onto Dawkins, I should say. And then Ford stormed out, all sorts of pissed off. Seth got the hell out of Dodge. Next up, we got, well, what was scheduled was Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. Zeke was already in the ring, all set to geared up and go. Next thing you know, Owens, he just comes on down like a man on a mission. Bell rings, boom, straight up decks Ezekiel, starts throwing clubs at him. Then next thing you know, wham, cracks him with the powerbomb on the ring apron. After that, ref calls for the match. They get EMTs to load him up onto a stretcher, take him out. And here's the thing that got me. Everyone on the Twitter was all going up in arms because, oh, we want to hear them say hospital instead of medical facility, blah, 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 blah. Listen, here's the thing. While having them say hospital would be cool, here's the thing. It's still an entertainment business, and you're going to have people that are going to be crazy and stupid enough to where if they say, oh, we took them to St. Andrew's Hospital, guess what? You're going to have people stupid enough to go to St. Andrew's Hospital and say, oh, I'm here to see WWE wrestler such and such. No lie. It's smarter to play it by that way. Would I like the term hospital? Yes. Unfortunately, there are idiots that are stupid enough to go and do that kind of superfan shit. So yeah, I'm good without it because of that. Next up, we got Finn Balor going against Rey Mysterio. And before the match, Rey and Dominic were having a father-son conversation when Edge stepped in. Edge talking, rekindling the friendship with Rey. And then Dominic just like, yo, motherfucker, don't think I forgot that shit. Rey looking at him like, Dom, easy, buddy. Come on, listen. Saw what happened. He's working against them now. And Dom's just like, you know what, no, I'm out of here. And then, yeah. Then right before Rey comes out, they see Rey talking to Edge again, saying, have you seen Dom at all? No, I haven't seen him. It's like he disappeared. He's not answering his phone. All this, that, and the other. Well, I'll keep my eye open. If I see him while you're out there, I'll let you know. Alright, thanks. So now we come to the match. Rey leading early on and then was leading the pace for the match, which is kind of cool to see, but honestly, it was a decent match. I thought it was really good. Rey, you kept seeing him eventually, like, peering over to the side, trying to look and see if, like, his baby boy's coming out at any point in time. All the while still working the match, which was cool. Not in a distracted, I'm waiting for a cue kind of look, but more so as like a concerned dad. Which, again, storytelling, man. Small little thing. It's all the small little things that make the bigger picture. And at one point, Edge came out, took Priest out. Them two started fighting through the crowd. And then it became Finn and Rey one-on-one. It was decent, really good to see. And the match as the match was going to an end, Rey was calling for the 619. As he's about to get a running start, next thing you know, see Rhea literally carrying Dominic on his shoulders and then dropping him down, holding him, manhandling him, all that jazz. And all I could think is, there are a lot of guys out there, a lot of guys and girls that would give up that would give their arm to be in Dominic's position right now. Yeah. Yeah, there are. But either way, Dominic being manhandled by Rhea, which is wrestling Twitter, all the guys on wrestling Twitter's dream. Ray gets distracted. Finn winds up hitting him with a Bloody Sunday, then the coup de grace. That's it. 1, 2, 3. Next up, we got women's tag title tournament action. Easy for me to say. Io Sky and Dakota Kai going against Dana Brooke and Tamina, and right at the start, you know, gotta tell you, faces, they were leading right into the break. It was a decent match. Dana wound up becoming the punching bag post-break, which I can't say I'm too surprised on. But when Tamina got in, that's when the momentum changed, and it was actually nice to see because, honestly, when I saw that on paper, I saw that on TV, my first thought was, that's just going to be a quick squash. It was not. And I was really happy on that because, you know, gave Tamina a chance to look good, and Tamina looking good gave Io and Dakota a chance to look good by default because, you know, she's showing that she can do that. Well, you know what? They're going to have to up their game and do a whole other thing to beat her, which they did. And Dakota living up to the name, the captain of Team Kick in this match, really dug the hell out of it. Match came to an end when Dakota wound up doing a surprise kick on Tamina. Io then did a blind tag, got up to the top, did the moonsault, 1, 2, 3. That was it. Stick a fork in her. She is done. Your winners, Io and Dakota Kai. So yes, and they announced next week for the women's tag title, it's going to be Io. It's going to be Asuka and Alexa Bliss going against Nikki Ash and Doudrop, which, yeah, I think we see on how that's going to go. Next up, we got Tommaso Ciampa coming out, going for his U.S. title match against the almighty Bobby Lashley. Now, before the match, Ciampa, he was interviewed. He talked about the legacy of the U.S. title and how the first U.S. champ, Harley Race, was his mentor and taught him. And tonight he's going to go out there, much like in the same manner that King Harley did, and he is going to win it for him. And he came out, man, Ciampa's gear head to toe, just like Harley Race. And if you're watching this show, I will say this now. If you've never seen a Harley Race match, whether his time in WWF or when he was NWA champion, Jim Crockett Promotions, highly recommend the Jim Crockett, the JCP stuff. But seriously, Harley Race was the living embodiment of tough ass son of a bitch. He was that guy where if he was world champion, he would cut the promo. I hold this title. That means I am the toughest man on the planet. I challenge anyone to step to me and try and take this belt from me. I will split their head like an egg. I dare anyone to try. And Harley, you would believe it because he had that natural God-given strength on him. Because there's pictures out there, him doing a full scoop slam on Andre the Giant long before Hogan did it at WrestleMania 3. Google that shit. Now, that said, now that we're done going down memory lane, let's get back into the present. Ciampa, Bobby Lashley, very nice match. Oh my God, this was match of the night. Bobby working the power game early on, Really great action and storytelling in the match between Ciampa and Lashley. Ciampa, now obviously, Ciampa being 201, he's given up weight to Lashley, who's damn near 300 and built like a fucking Greek god. But Ciampa, man, he's on point with his striking game. High knees, good, quick precision strikes. There was a lot of great storytelling. At one point, it looked like Lashley had the win with the spear, and then ref, 1, 2, Miz putting a foot on the rope, saving Ciampa, and then just after he did that, AJ Styles, boom, comes out and attacks Miz, takes Miz out of the equation. You see Ciampa, he goes all out, pulls out a lot of old stuff. He pulls out the fairy tale, pulls out the Widow's Bell, the Widow's Bell, elevated DDT, just like Randy does. Wound up even putting in a crossface at one point when he did the crossface. Corey Graves on commentary, sometimes you just have to do it yourself, which was a huge wink and a nod to the old DIY team with him and Gargano, which I kind of chuckled because, and I'm not going to lie, even I felt a little bit of a victim to it. Everyone thinking, well, they're in Cleveland. That's Johnny's hometown. If there was ever a time to make a debut, or a return, I should say, yeah, Johnny did not come. But, not gonna lie, don't want to say I wasn't expecting, but there was that small little sliver of hope thinking, what if he does? That'd be really cool. But he didn't. Either way, great, amazing, phenomenal match. Really recommend you watch that one. Match came to an end. Bobby Lashley eventually got the Hurt Lock in after 2 or 3 ragdolls, then got the tap. So yeah, next up we got Omos going against 2 local jobbers, and I jumped up off my feet on this because I recognize those 2 guys right off bat. Those 2 guys work locally here at for the local promotion here in Erie, PA. And I absolutely jumped out my feet like, I know those dudes! I've seen them perform all the time! And, man, them 2 can go. Them 2 guys are good. So, yeah, I thought I got a big kick out of it. Omos, obviously, he got the win, but either way. Next matchup, we had Chad Gable going against Dolph Ziggler. 2 great amateur wrestlers in and of themselves. Chad Gable, former Olympic level wrestler. Dolph Ziggler, the most wins in Kent State University history. There you go. And much like I said, great ground match right at the start with it. Oh, wow. And wow. Gable, he was leading the pace on the flow of the match. Wound up working Ziggler's ankle a lot with the ankle lock, but the one thing that always annoys me, and I make this a constant gripe, because it is. You see guys go for the ankle lock and you'll see them twist and pull down like that. But why not scissor the damn leg? Wrap your body around the leg, because that puts weight down on the leg, so that way it's harder for them to crawl and reach for the rope. I'm just thinking, from a psychological standpoint, that would make more sense. From a psychology standpoint, that'd make more sense. Maybe I'm just applying logic to an illogical sense of reason, but that's just me, you know? But either way, Ziggler eventually got the win by popping a super kick out of nowhere, got the 1, 2, 3. The second the bell rang and it was announced he won, he got the hell out of Dodge to avoid Otis, which I do not blame him on. So now we come to main event of the night. Due to what happened with AJ and Miz early on during the Ciampa match, we now have AJ Styles going against Miz in a no disqualification match. So yeah, good brawling at the start, AJ leading the pace for the match. At one point, Ciampa came in to run interference when it looked like he was about to get the win. Ciampa got taken out by getting decked and put through easy for me to say, put through a table. Yeah, it was a decent match. Match came to an end when there was a chair wedged in the corner. Miz, as he's winding up for a figure four, AJ kicks him off, throws Miz into the chair, gets out of the corner, then AJ sets him up. Styles Clash 1, 2, 3, that was it. And then you see an off onto the corner of the camera. You could see it. Security taking a person away, and AJ's even looking like, what? They don't acknowledge him by name, but you could see him for like a split second. The return of Dexter Lumis, which I was like, ooh, they brought Dex back. So this goes to what I said before about with all the talent cuts. It's not always the end of the world, and it doesn't always mean goodbye forever. It just means goodbye for now. And I mean, look at it in this case. Karrion Kross came back. Now, for all intents and purposes, we probably thought, nah, he'll never come back. Not after he had that gladiator shit done to him. But now look, he's back, and he came back debuting in a main event position. Dexter Lumis is being brought back. There is nothing saying that no one that was cut from 2020 until current, as long as provided they're not under a contract with any other promotion, would and could not come back at any point in time. You know, it's just me personally, I don't see it. Never say never. Never say never. Nothing is ruled out. Nothing is within the realm of possibility, especially in the world of wrestling. So, with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. And thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. All that good shit, details are down below. Also, thank you to Imperial of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, don't forget to check out whatamaneuver.net for some Vicious Rants apparel. Help support the show and pay for the AC bills in this building. The Vicious Studios does get a little hot during pre- and post-production. Excuse me. Also, folks, don't forget to check out these cool-ass cats on Twitter. Kenny Killer DSB _ IB Diabolica RA. Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.